Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, where today we're going to deal with keen advice for your crowdsourcing research. Facial emotion implementation by a major global television network, and how text analytics is making NPS relevant for Jiffy Lube. RBDR is sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. There's a lot of banter throughout the industry about listening to the wisdom of the crowd, or what we call crowdsourcing. And on the uSamp blog, Senior Analyst Insights and Strategy Jacob Turner offered practical advice about the best situations for tapping into wisdom of the crowd. He said there's no doubt that wisdom of the crowd is an important tool in the research toolkit, because listening to the crowd provides a significant edge in determining who a product's buyers are, as well as the course of products you take to increase the number of buyers. However, Tucker spelled out three essentials. First, find the right crowd, which he wrote sounds simple, but may not be as obvious as it seems. 2, capture feedback early in a product's lifespan. Tucker pointed out how consumer bias can develop if people know how a product is already being received by people around them. And third, he said, if you have data that says 3 out of 5 people plan on buying a new flavor of something, Tucker recommended discover whether there are any common characteristics between those people. And in fact, try to analyze whether there are common characteristics between those who say they don't plan on buying it. Next, EVP for Insights David Boyle of BBC Worldwide, whom we heard from last week, tweeted out a breakthrough in research from the British TV network. BBC Worldwide is using CrowdEmotion, the two of them having piloted emotion detection among focus groups in the UK, Australia, and Russia. And they are planning a global study in the coming year. BBC Worldwide boldly thinks it can minimize the possibility of failure in its future programming and potentially enable quote-unquote guaranteed hits. That's the word from VP Insight for Branded Services, Mary Kyriakidi. She said, CrowdEmotion is similar to dial testing, but without the need for active participation, which theoretically should gain more spontaneous responses. And here's the big aha from CrowdEmotion. All human emotions apparently do not equally correlate to the liking of a program. And the example? People who, while watching a trailer from the BBC's Sherlock series, scored consistently as surprised and sad, and they loved what they watched more than people who had just found the program funny. Finally, I found numerous businesses whose marketing and sales efforts are linked to just one thing, their NPS or Net Promoter Score results. So, an advertising age Jiffy Lube case history got my attention. It described how NPS data over a broad geography has frankly been indecipherable for Jiffy Lube on a national basis, and the text analytical step that the oil change business decided to implement in order to make NPS viable. Now, NPS relies on a single question. They ask people, how likely is it on a scale from 1 to 10 that you would recommend the company that has just completed a job for you to a friend or a colleague? The result NPS score is supposed to gauge loyalty and future sales, but for Jiffy Lube, NPS delivered a wide variance in scores from market to market over its 2,000 franchised service centers. So, NPS not only was unreliable as a predictor for those on a national and regional basis, but Insights manager Amy Rahill said it also was a blank page in offering best practices for franchises. Anderson Analytics stepped in and apparently changed all that. President Tom Anderson explained that text analytics software, when applied to 135,000 surveys that contained customer comments, breathed relevance and insight into Jiffy Lube's NPS data. Anderson advised Jiffy Lube that customers who use the words ease, efficiency, weight, and speed in their surveys actually translated to better future sales, while those who use the words management, professionalism, price, and respect correlated to lower sales. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored by Socratic Technologies, whose proprietary tools and methodologies tackle marketing complexities so that you can make more confident business decisions. We highly recommend that you check out sotech.com. This is a company with a great and long history of research excellence and quality. If you need a new operation to help you with your research, you couldn't look at anyone better. Have a great research day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.